All right, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I want to dive right into this lesson. This is about this guy here. All right, he had the recent passing of this demon, um, what they call it, the Pope Francis pontificate pontificate of peace. All right, they called him the fisherman, and they try to say that's why he wore a fish hat. But us in this truth, we know him as one, an Edomite, two, as the false prophet that the scriptures speak of. All right. So I want to slow stroll through some of these scriptures. Um, I got a long list of scriptures, so I'm gonna try to keep it short, man. Um, but he passed. What was that? 2 days ago, April 21st, 2025. I think he was around 88 or something shit. Yeah, 88 years old. All right, but I'm gonna show some examples, man. It's kind of cringe once you see it. Like they say on the internet, it's cringe when you see this devil and that smile, man. That damn, that, he got a mug, don't he? But I'm gonna get a couple scriptures before I start. Just kind of set the tone. This is make sure his music turned down. All right, this is let's start with Ecclesiasticus Sirach 8 and 7. Because this lesson is not to mock his death. You get what I'm saying? Some do that. Some the witch is dead and all this different things, but it's not about all that. This is Sirach 8 and 7. It says, "Rejoice not over thy greatest enemy being dead, but remember that we all die." All right, but the difference is us that are in this truth, we have a hope of eternal life. So it's the difference in death, all right, being taken care of. But yeah, we all transition at some point. So I try not to mock people once they uh, pass on. You know what I'm saying? But I will rebuke them or their doctrine or their false beliefs, whether they're here or not. All right. But rejoice not over thy greatest enemy, and Esau is our greatest enemy, being dead. But remember that we all die. All right. So we're in the time of judgment. Um, and that's what happened to him. The Lord judged him, took him up out of here. But I want to get this precept. Let's go here. All right. Because a lot of people think, a lot of Jakes believe that he stood for us. Let me get this right. This one. Share this tab. All right. When they saw him with Obama or back in 2022, um, it was stated that this guy, Pope Francis, and once he took office, uh, what they say rulership over the Roman Catholic Church, this guy here, they try to say he was the last pope according to their book of prophecy. So they got their own book, and the Lord said, uh, let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. All right, not these books that they're coming up with, Catholic books, their own. What is it called, man? Let me see. Pope prophecy book. I forgot the guy name. I think it began with a G. He said he had a vision of all the prophets, and Pope Francis was supposed to be the last one. Hold on. Prophecy of popes. It was called it said the prophecy of popes is a series of 112 short cryptic phrases in Latin which purport to predict the Catholic popes along with a few anti-popes. All right. So it's called The Prophecy of the Popes. That's the name of the book, which is basically trash, man. All right. So where was that? There you go. It says here, seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read, man, out of the scriptures, the Bible. No one of these shall fail, what according to prophecies. All right, but their Pope prophecy is gonna fail. You know, I think their Pope prophecy is more of a plan than a prophecy. Because by they were saying that basically he was called the prophet of the end of the world, and the world not going to end. It's just Esau's world is going to end. Their rulership is going to be over. All right, and Jacob, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the speckled bear Israelites are going to rule under Yahushua. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate." You're not going to want any other book. You know what I mean? It's not going. In the end, it's not going to compare to the true book of prophecy, which is the Holy Scriptures. For my mouth it have commanded, see, the truth, and his spirit it have gathered them. All right, gather what? The compilement of scriptures, which ultimately um, those scriptures gather the prophets. All right, so his spirit have gathered them. So we supposed to seek out of the book of the Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what he wrote, not what man come up with. We ought to obey God rather than man. So that's one strike against him right there. All right. So he show up acting like he's a man of the Lord. That's why Scripture says there's going to be many antichrists. All right. Not that word Christ, but anti-anointed. So it says here in 2022, Pope Francis openly spoke to American editors about African Americans, which are really Israelites, for the first time. All right, because with us being in slavery, uh, um, the Roman Catholic Church played a major part in that, us being enslaved. But then this Pope, he came into power. He kind of spoke against that, us being in slavery. But he ain't really watch this. In 2022, Pope Francis openly spoke to American editors about African Americans for the first time, saying racism was an intolerable sin. See, that's all he had to say. He ain't try to say let's fix it. You know, um, it says even if we didn't hear him say it out. Wait, let me get this scripture ready. It says, let me get this one. hmm It's Job 20. No, Job 10. All right. It says here, Job 20 and 10, it says, his children, talking about Esau's children, that's what the Pope and these, even though they're older, they're still the descendants of their forefathers, that put us in slavery, Esau. But it says, his children shall seek to please the poor, and we're the poor, the Israelites. And his hands shall restore their goods. All right, but in the kingdom, they're gonna be forced to pay us back. All right, so though the wicked join hand in hand, though they join hand in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So they can try to be nice, and his children should try to seek to please the poor, but in the end, they're going to pay back everything that they did. All right, they're going to get payback for it. But this is the funny part. I'm gonna go here real quick. It says, um, even if we, so the Pope openly spoke. How did he? But he spoke behind in secrecy. Check it out. The Pope openly spoke to American editors about African Americans for the first time, saying racism was an intolerable sin, even if we didn't hear him say it out loud. Shit. You know, they say if you don't have nothing to say, don't say nothing at all. So black folks always knew, even though they didn't hear him say it out loud, they always knew he was on their side. That was you thought, which makes his recent passing such a shock and another painful loss. To who? He wasn't doing nothing for our people, man. All right. Let's get that. Let me get some. Hold up. Where is it? Let me get this one. All right. This is Joel 3 and 4. It says, "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, and Zidon, those African nations that had part in our slavery, and all the coast of Palestine, those Arab nations, Ishmael, that had us part in our slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, the trans-Sahara slave trade. Will you render me a recompense?" All right. So how are you gonna pay the Lord back? There's no possible way. So so the Pope speaking all nice, nasty. There's no way they can pay our people back for what they did, and that's what he was kind of trying to be, like a an inclusive Pope. He believed in inclusion, and that inclusion had no limits to it when he meant inclusive. He's talking about the LGBT as well. Um, will you render me a recompense? Will you pay the Father back? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, man. So anything they try to do, the Lord gonna throw it right back at them. He don't want it, right? So their judgment is gonna fall upon their head. That's what's coming. They can try to be nice as they want, try to please the poor, but let's get this real quick. All right, this is Job. Hold on, let me go to a Slack here. This is Job. I'm trying to be quick. 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? Right. They do all these wicked deeds and oppress everybody, and they don't understand that life is short. All right. And they're triumphing, their rulership is coming to an end. So we saw the Pope triumphing, getting in office, call him the last Pope. Um, they call him the World War III Pope, or the Judgment Day Pope. Like he's gonna be the last one. But who cares about that, man? We know that Esau being in power is the last rulership of the wicked. How about that one? As a whole lump, as a whole pile of crap. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite for a moment. Right? So he's a hypocrite. You know, he speaks sweetly with his words. Um, damn, what was that? Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep reading before I go there. It says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and that's in their pride, in their rulership, in their conquest, what they seek to conquer, which is the heavens, space. Though they reach the highest level, even as a pope, because even matter of fact, even in the realm of religion, they raise themselves up to the highest level. When it comes to the image of the Messiah, they put up Caesar Borgia, Edomite. When it comes to God, they put up Zeus, which is an Edomite uh, myth. When it comes to um, uh, the prophets, they put up a false prophet called the Roman Catholic Church and put an Edomite as Pope and a bunch of Hamites. All right. So though his excellency mounted to the heavens, or the highest level they could reach, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own pile of poop. Though they have seen him, they which have seen him shall say, where is he? You're not gonna be able to find these devils, man. So it's a natural thing for them to be pushing for a new world order, but not being able to reach that new world order, not being able to see it. The Lord taking them out of here. All the Rothschilds, he taking them up out of here. The old ones that was hoping to see it. A lot of them gonna go into slavery, born into slavery. All right. But though his excellency mounted to the heavens, now I'm gonna get this real quick. Uh, where is it at? That's in Thessalonians. All right. This is Second Thessalonians. Um, 2. Go ahead so you can see it. 2 and 4. It says this is about Esau, man. This is what they've done. Their excellency has mounted up to the heavens, and they reached their limits. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called power, all right, or that is worshipped, even the Pope. All right. So that Pope position is putting himself in the place of a man of God. It says, so that he, as power or God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. That's Esau, man. That's what they've done. They try to act like they represent, especially since the Renaissance period. They try to act like God was with them. That's why they put up Caesar Borgia, the devil. That's why they got that Michelangelo picture with a Edomite finger pointing down and the Edomite finger touching it, saying that's the Messiah. They got pictures of Edomite babies. And in fact, this is what the Pope was into. That's why we call him the false prophet. You judge a tree by its fruit. So check this out. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, it's the cringe moment right here. Here you go. All right. There's a few things wrong with this. A few things. One, he kissing on a baby. Two, it's an Edomite. Three, this is not our practice. Four, this is some pagan shit here. Five, he's a false prophet. You can keep going on and on. There's so much wrong with this, man. There's nothing but an idol. So this shows you his belief right here. They can say all they want. Yeah, he was for black people. He know that the Messiah is black. He deal with the Black Madonna and all this madness. All right. But look at him kissing the little Edomite statue. Even if he was kissing Jake, that brown skin colored statue, uh, he would still be wrong. That's still idolatry. All right. Can I pull this up real quick? Check this out. I just typed something funny in. It says here. I typed in this. I said, "Did the Pope believe that? Did he believe in this? Right? The white turkey." Um, but it says this: the question of whether the Pope believes in the white turkey or not is complex and touches upon the historical and theological depiction of the Messiah. This when you know AI, like, damn, you caught me. When you read AI responding like this in the overview, the question of whether the Pope believes in the white turkey is complex and touches upon the historical and theological depiction of the Messiah. That mean like, damn, you caught me. I'm about to tell you the truth. Check this out. The historical Messiah was a Jew from Judah, born in Galilee, and likely had the physical characteristics of a Jew, person of that region, including brown eyes. This from AI. So he had including brown eyes and brown skin. See that? So what the hell is wrong with this dude? What the hell is wrong with him? Are you feeling? Yeah, there's a lot wrong with this picture too. But yeah, so look, this is Pope with the devil is the only. There's so much to say about the damn picture, man. I can't even talk about it on YouTube. But yeah, you see it for yourself. But if you listen to AI, since you don't want to listen to us, it says here, uh, the characteristic of a Judite is brown skin originally in that region. Today we're all kinds of colors, but at that time was brown skin and brown eyes. All right. The portrayal of the Messiah as a Europe, an Edomite is a relatively recent phenomenon. It's modern from the they were pushing that shit and what you call that when he went out to deceive the whole world, the Roman Empire. All right. And part of that deception was putting the Messiah up as an Edomite, a Caucasian man. So this is a more recent phenomenon. And just like the elder apostle Gabar recently said in their video, their live, I think it was this weekend. Um, everything they're doing is more modern. Just like the name of Jesus that wasn't around during the time of 37 AD when the Messiah was crucified. They didn't have that name Jesus or Jesus, that name Jebus. So this is a recent phenomenon, especially in these damn black churches after slavery. So so this is a recent phenomenon influenced by European artists, artistic traditions, and cultural biases, man. All right. So come on. They're living a lie. He's the father of it. So Esau was part of that, the Pope. All right. So I'm gonna read a couple of these things, man. Show that he's that false prophet. Well, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's just share this. It says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens. All right. Sorry about that. I'm just deleting some pictures real quick. All right, where was that? So let's go back to Job. No, actually, Second Thessalonians where I was at. 4, it says, who opposeth. So even the Pope being in that position, he's in opposition. So he represents Satan. That means to be an adversary, contender to righteousness, to the truth. So he was part of that. Who opposeth and exalteth himself. That's what they did. They even exalted a false image of the Lord and exalted a false pope, right, and a false people. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God in Jerusalem too, or even in the office of a priest, showing himself that he is God. All right. Um, remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? So Paul told us these things, all right, just like the Messiah did. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, man. All right, so he had to be revealed, man. So this how they get exposed by the true prophets, revealing and peeling back the layers of these devils. Look at this. And you know what the Lord said about Dagon, the fish idol. Dagon, that's that hat right here this bozo got on. All the popes wore it. They called them because they said they're the fishermen, right? And you know you're supposed to uncover the top of your head when you pray. And this dude praying everywhere with his head covered. And he had on he had on the Dagon fish hat. And the Lord don't deal with that. I'm not gonna get into that scripture. You can read First Samuel to understand what happened with Dagon, the African Philistine idol. All right, I'm gonna show you an image just for old time's sake. All right, this is Dagon. We seen it in movies as the merman. They have like the merman, like a squid walking around some shit. But in ancient times, it was an idol that they worshipped. All right, I can't get a clear picture up. Dagon fish idol. All right, you can see it there. Look at that. It goes way back. This dude had the whole damn fish on his head. Oh, there go Sakari and them symbol. We got the Sakari symbol here. Look at that. That's cool. They showing love to Sakari and Gorilla Hebrew right here with that one. Got their symbol up there. That's called the Chrysler with the wings. When you see that, this is called a Chrysler symbol. That's what that witchcraft that Sakari and them into. So yeah, you got the Dagon hat. How you judge a tree by its fruits, man. And this is why he's known in the scriptures as the false prophet. I gotta open this one up. Hold on. Open link a new tab. See if I can share this one. Here you go. This is a more clear depiction. As you can see here, Nimrod of ancient Babylon was said to have been reincarnated into a giant fish in the sea. See that paganism. Uh, Dagon means fish in Hebrew, and the papacy to this day wears the same Dagon fish mitri to show that they are portraying the ancient priesthood of Dagon, the fish idol. Come on, man. All right. So they're priests of Baalium, of the idols. So so now I want to get back to this. It says, though his excellency, Job 20:6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reached into the clouds, all right, through their pride, through their rulership, through their vain um, imaginations with their new world order, through, through their riches, through their idolatry that they post, right? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Where the Pope? No, well, where Esau? I'm just kind of being sarcastic, but where's Esau? Where's Waldo? That's what we're gonna say in the kingdom. Like, damn, they was just here dominating. Them nations gonna say, where the heck? Where did America go? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. This is what the Lord think about these rulers. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Let me get that real quick. So I can. right, here we go. Go here real quick, man. Got to bring this out early in the game, in the lesson. Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw three unclean spirits. So what did he represent? An unclean spirit, man, that has been around since the Babylonian Empire and the Assyrian Empire and the Philistines, which are them tall Africans, which they a lot of the Philistines they worship today, calling them Nibiru and shit, or uh, Anunnaki and shit, which was the sons of Anak, which were four tall ass Africans that go back to Goliath's tribe under Matazarium. But so this spirit goes back to those Hamites and even to Esau today, which is a spirit of devils, wickedness, paganism. All right. And I saw three unclean spirits, man. So when you look at the Pope, he's part of that unclean spirit. When you look at the military, the police department, that's why it's corrupt, because it's part of that unclean spirit, these agencies. Then you got the whole religious system that's under the Roman Catholic Church. Then you got um, the banking system, which is corrupt. So it's all unclean spirits, man. All right, nothing righteous about it. It's all from the left hand side. So leap like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. All right, and that frog represents that uncleanness. Um, so it's like pure poison. It's nasty. It came out of the mouth of the dragon, out of Europe, out of England. All right, the banking system, and out of the mouth, because that's all the dragon is today. The European Union still still that banking system. Um, and out of the mouth of the beast. So with NATO, all right, which is from Europe, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, which goes into the Roman Catholic Church. All right, that's the false prophet, man. For they are spirits of devils. What? Spirits of devils. So that spirit is on all of them damn popes. Whatever pope they put into the office next, he gonna show up smiling, you know, with milk in his teeth and shit, trying to make him look all innocent. For they are what? Are the spirits of devils, man, working miracles. And that's why they try to say he was a miracle worker. The Pope touched my forehead with his thumb, and now my right leg working miracles. They used to have him in that damn plexiglass. You couldn't even talk to him. Let's see, hold on. Did they have him in it? Let me see. Look at this madness, man. They worship this dude. All right, hold on. Let me see. They showing his sarcophagus, however you say that word. They showing that shit all over the damn news. His body and shit. Nobody want to see that mess, man. You got children out here. You got to see that shit. But look at it. Look at it. Look at it. But they got his body on the news. I'm not gonna show it on here, but and if you look at that, if somebody passed now, it takes the mortician to show up and say, hey, the person deceased at this time, or the coroner. But now, they had some weird pagan ritual to show that he was gone. You know, some damn ritual. They had that shit on TV. This the picture I was looking for right here. He riding around the damn bubble. Look at this madness. Look at that. Yeah, Howard Shah rode in on a donkey. He wasn't afraid of the people. All right. Let me go back here. real quick so I don't lose where I was at. So I can let me reshare my screen. Then we go back to Revelations, where it says Revelation 16 and 14, for they are the spirits of devils. That racism, that oppression that they put on our people, that hatred of Esau is there too, working miracles which go forth into the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Almighty. Because a lot of those popes, they're part of the Jesuits. All right, that's where you get the G, not the J, but the G on the Masonic symbol. It goes back to the Jesuits or the Jesuits, which is a banking system. That is the Roman Catholic Church. It was originally a banking setup. The same bankers or Edomites. All right. So yeah, man, the spirits of devils, man, that came out of Europe. All right. So when you see the Pope, that's what he represented. So now the Lord said this. Let me get this one. It says here, Job 20 and 8, he shall fly away as a dream. So that whole system that flew over here and leaped out of the mouth of the dragon like a frog, an unclean spirit is going to fly away like a dream. It's going to be gone. That whole system is going to be destroyed and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night, a damn nightmare. It's a nightmare for the elect to see false prophet in power, to see Esau in our land, to see Esau ruling. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. See, he's going to be moved out of the way. Neither shall his place any more behold him, man, his rulership. This is his blessing, but it's going to be a regime change. We can't, you can't even fully see clearly see the kingdom, the vision of the kingdom. Esau's trying to stand in our damn way and block it. They got to be moved out of the way so we can see. Move your ass out of the way. We trying to not even see, but get to it. You know, they're like a dam in our way. A mountain that's going to be moved. It says his children shall seek to please the poor. See that? Try to, hey man, we're going to be inclusive. We're going to allow so-called black people to become popes, not just Africans. And his hands shall restore their goods. So in the kingdom, they're going to be happy. That's why I say, um, their children are going to bow down to us. You know, their descendants, or even them today. I'm saying they're going to bow down to us in the kingdom. Um, and we're gonna suck the breast. I'm trying to say it the right way so it don't sound vulgar. But what it means is like a woman nursing a child just gives up the milk, and the baby doesn't have to fight for the milk. We're not gonna have to really fight for it. Esau to pay us back everything. The Lord gonna make them cough it up, and their hands shall restore their goods. See, and his bones are full of the sin of his youth. So that same hatred, they say hatred. Like even today, if somebody angry at somebody, they say, "Yo, you gotta let go of that anger because it's that anger, because ultimately is destroying yourself." So that same hatred, that poison, that paganism, destructive mindset that Esau has is ultimately going to be their own demise. All right, his bones are full of the sins of his youth, like poison, from when they first came up against Jacob. It's still there. They're like, let me keep a little bit of it so I can taste it anytime I choose to. The taste of victory, which shall lie down with him in the dust, meaning it's gonna ultimately destroy him. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, see, taste of victory, right? That's why they show up saying, I'm the Pope now. I'm ruling. Ruling over what? Though he hide it under his tongue, right? Hiding it under his tongue. Talking about he didn't say it openly that he had respect for black people, but black people believed it. It's like, yeah, hiding that wickedness under his tongue. Though he spare it and forsake it not, meaning like I'm gonna keep a little bit of this that old slavery. You see Esau still holding on to it here in America. That way you hear him saying things like bright power or with the W and the H. But you see him uh, what they call wokeism, giving all these political terms to thoughts of freedom or truth. They'll attack it. They set policies against us. They have things called Karens for a reason, because that hatred is still there. You know, though he spare it and forsake it not, but still keep it still within his mouth. That's still the same hatred towards our people and the lies and deception and oppression. Yet his meat and his bowels, so what he ate, that victory that they ate, is ultimately going to be their demise. Yet his meat and his bowels is turned. All right, so imagine you eat something and then it just turned to poison in your belly. It it is the gall of asp within him, meaning the poison of all poisons. You touch the apple of the Lord's eye, and you think the Lord gonna forgive you for that? Because you try to act all innocent and put on white, tiptoeing up the street, lifting your damn heels up in the air, riding around a glass bubble with security. And you think the Lord like care? The Lord says He's no respect of persons. So ultimately, it's gonna destroy all of them. He has swallowed down riches, and He shall vomit them up again. This is gonna happen in the kingdom. They swallowed down the riches from the children of Israel, 70 AD. All right, it took everything from us, even our name, even our alleged position as prophets. But the beautiful part is the Lord stashed our riches in heaven, where moth nor thieves can break through and corrupt. So we're the prophets until the end. It says, Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps, and the viper's tongue shall slay him, man. So that same poison, which is that oppression that they put on us, and them lies and deception and paganism and hatred towards us, is ultimately going to be like a poison of a snake unto themselves. All right. And he shall not see the rivers. So we see that now. Look at the Rothschilds. Look at the Rockefellers. A lot of them are dying off. All right. That was talking about a new world order that they never got to see. The new world order they're going to see is going to be in the kingdom, and it's going to be Israelites ruling. It's Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. And he shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey, and the butter. They're not going to see what they've been fighting for all all this time. What Esau's been fighting for from the beginning, to be exalted and to rule, to take Jacob's blessing, to take our spot, because that's what the Pope did, calling himself a prophet, but he's a prophet of Baal. He's not a prophet of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He's not a prophet of the book of which they thought to paint their image, the likeness of their images, their pagan images in it. It says that which he labored for shall he restore. So everything they fought for since the conquering, or what should I say, the birth of their nation, and shall not swallow it down. So they're not going to see that new world order that they're fighting for. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. All right. So that's right. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. This is what Esau did. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. And we're in a time where pushing for that new world order. And he shall not save of that which he desired. All right. Let me get this. Let me see if I can find something on this real quick. Francis. Let me see. There you go. It says Pope Francis's statements and actions regarding a new world order often refer to a desire for a more just and equitable global economic and political system rather than a sinister conspiracy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. They got to put that in there. He has consistently advocated for international cooperation and reforms to address issues like poverty, inequality, which inequality he's talking about racism and like I just showed you, and the LGB2s, and what climate change. Whenever you hear climate change, that's New World Order talk. Often using the term, see, the Pope was using the term New World Order to describe his vision. All right, so the Lord said, "You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it, buddy. You're going to get close, but no cigar." All right, so here we go. Check this out. Let's go here. Damn, where is that at? Let me get my phone. All right, this is Sirach. Let's get Sirach 12 and 10. This is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, man. See, even though your enemy perishes, yeah, we don't rejoice over his passing because we want the Lord to destroy it, bring judgment. But I'm not about to sit here and, yeah, he got high, he gone, when we could transition too. But the humor is that they're not going to see that new world order that they've been fighting for. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, right? His bones are still full of that hatred towards us, man, and that oppression, that racism, that, that that dominance that they were pushing for since the Renaissance, or actually since damn, where is that at? Where is that, man? Anyway, I ain't gonna get it, but it's in where it speaks about Esau's hatred going down into his loins, man. His bones is full of the sins of his youth. Though he humble himself, right? That Pope position is like, or politicians, they try to humble. All right. Let me see one more real quick. Hold up. Look at this dude, man. Always kissing somebody's damn feet. He was always doing that shit. Over in Africa, kissing their feet. He wasn't going to New York, the Bronx, doing that shit, kissing your Timberland boot. He would have kissing them Africans' feet. All right. But yeah, though he look at him. Oh damn, my bad. Look at his witchcraft behind him. Sheesh. So yeah, though he go look at that devil. All right. Goodness. Told you, man, it's cringe watching this dude, man. It took me like a day to do this lesson because I was like, I don't feel like talking about this guy, man. But if you don't eat the plate, the Lord will put a hold on you. You gotta finish your plate. But here you go. It says here, never trust thine enemy, but like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching. See, they got all these different positions. Let's put on a suit. Let's put on a pope outfit. Let's put on a priest outfit. Let's be a teacher. Do all these. Let's be Blippy. You look at Blippy on TV. All these characters. He's always trying to go all damn innocent, man, playful and shit, like a child. Or as the children rule over them. So though he humble himself and go crouching, bowing down every damn body, yet take good heed and beware of him, man. And though and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away, man. It's still there. That racism, that what do you call that? They call it white nationalism. I could say that. But bright power, like they be saying, right? Esau over everything, but it's still there. Especially when you go into these jobs, you meet a manager that's a European. It's still there, man. It's still there, yo. You walking up the street, they cross the street. It's still there. They putting these images up of the devil everywhere, saying that that's the Messiah, the Edomite. It's still there. You see the Pope. Uh, what's this one? Look at it. It's still there, bro. They hate the truth, right? They hate the truth. This dude, look at him. Look at him, man. Like, what the hell is this for? This is all vanity. Playing with dolls and shit. Yo, dude playing with dolls, man. All right. But this is hatred right here. This is bad, man, to the Lord's people. A dark skinned baby seeing this, and they saying that that's the Messiah. But then they got depictions of the devil as a baby, as an idol, and then they got him as an adult. Look at this. That's when they say they're eating the flesh of the Lord. Freaking when he say this is my body, taking it, eat it. They believe this damn whatever this shit is here is his flesh, and they break it and give it out and eat it. All right, sheesh, man, madness. Look at this one. Look at this one. So you think he love our people? Oh hell no. Share this tab instead. No, I don't want that one. All right, I don't want that one. Where's that? There we go. All right, so yeah, look at that. He's all over the place. That's how you know he's the false prophet. He's over the Roman Catholic Church. The Black Madonna. They got a darker version too. So, but he's not for our people, man. Look at this idol worship, bro. Yo, let me get this one. All right, it says Proverbs 29 and 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. So this dude was following those same lies. All right. He was following those same lies. And that make all his servants, all the popes, everybody that follow him is wicked because of that. So that means all the Catholic churches, all the Christian churches, right? The popes, So let's go back here, and that wickedness is still there from that racism, that iconoclasm. Verse 12: Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Didn't they stand up in our place, calling themselves the prophets, calling themselves the Lord's people, calling themselves the Jews, putting up Cesare Borgia as the Messiah, a so-called black man, but they put up an Edomite picture, European. So didn't we set them by us during the 8th century BCE, during the time of King Jehoshaphat of Judah, who who was a so-called black man, and they ran the Nabateans. That's why you hear about the Nabateans in the in Petra. All right, that's why you hear about that. When you read about Petra, we know that's the place, that's the home of Esau. Petra, I think it's in Edom. But why were there Nabateans there? All right, which were a mixture of um, Syrians and was that Aram? Aramaic? Was that Aram, right? And also Hamites. All right, they were known as Nabateans. So those Nabateans ran Esau out of Edom and up to the southern borders of Judah in the 8th century BC during the time of King Jehoshaphat. And Jehoshaphat made a treaty with Esau, and Esau broke that treaty in 586 BC. When we went into captivity under Babylon, Esau was right there to burn down our temple and to take part in our downfall. So set him not by thee. All right. Just like during the Roman Empire, you had the Jewish Roman wars. See that? So set him not by thee. Share this tab. Yeah, share this one. This is set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And that's what they did. They stood up in our place. And now it's time to get our place back. Neither let him sit at thy right hand spiritually, what you trust, lest he seek to take thy seat, man, spiritually as well. And thou see they Esau want the blessing. And thou at the last remember my words. Remember that with Paul, he said, though I was with you, I told you these things. All right, Paul was speaking the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, so and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent? So that same poison that's within them, they'll bite you with it. And it seep into your damn soul, man. We call it lies. Or any such as come nigh wild beast. So if you call yourself Catholic, that's on you. So one that goeth to a sinner and trying to get him to touch your damn forehead, instead he putting a curse on you, it is defiled with him and his sins. Who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, as he was doing. That's what the Pope always did. Always speaking, appearing to speak all soft and shit, and all about peace and inclusiveness, and you know. But they say he never spoke openly about our people. But an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. They part of that new world order. And he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And all Esau is like that. You go watch the most slave movies. You had some Edomites that were allies to us, but if they get put under pressure by their own people, they'll cut your leg off too. You know, if they told them to. If so, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. So who was the first ones there when we went in slavery and the establishment of America? The damn Roman Catholic Church. And though he pretend to help thee, he pretending to help. He don't give a damn. He's just giving word service, telling black people that they cool. And he didn't even tell them. Though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. All right. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So you can never trust them devils, man. He talking about some damn. Look, this is one of his beliefs. That's why we know he's this false prophet. Well, not him, but that position as Roman Catholic Pope represents the false prophet of the scriptures. It says Pope Francis has has taken a more inclusive. See, the Lord is exclusive. Like, no, no, you're not included in this. That's what they call holy, to be separated. But these people believe in a new world order where everybody's included. Pope Francis has taken a more inclusive and accepting stance on you know, that right there. All right. The L to the plus with the GBT, chat GPT, anyway, LGBT. Oh shit. Anyway, um, individuals within the Catholic Church, so those people in their church, compared to his predecessors, right? Because in this truth, you can't have that in your church. If they part of that, you gotta kick them the hell out. All right. He has expressed that God loves all his children. God doesn't love everybody, man. The Lord doesn't love everybody. Yeah. All right. Uh, let me get this. Where is it at? It says here, Psalms 97 and 10, ye that love Yahweh hate evil. All right. So, and hold on, let me see. Uh, okay. If I can't find it, it's cool. I just want to see if I can find it real fast. Uh, nah, it's gonna take me too long. Yeah, that ain't it. But anyway, let me just read. All right, but it's a scripture where he said Yahweh never showed mercy unto the wicked, man. He never would deal with them. All right. Um, so you can't try to include everybody. All right. He has expressed that God loves all his children. No, he don't. The Lord hates Esau. He said, I love Jacob and I hated Esau. Including those who are too damn happy, and has urged people to be accompanied, not judged. Oh my goodness, man. This dude. See, he was a false prophet. See? Based on their sexual orientation. But we shouldn't know about their sexual orientation. What they're into should be up to them. That has nothing to do with us. But they try to force it on everybody. They put it in the cartoons, force it on our children in the schools. It's darkness, man. Darkness corrupts and seeks to consume. That's what wickedness is, man. So the Lord is against that. So based on their blank orientation, while the church still doesn't condone the same ex marriages, Pope Francis has voiced support for that type of marriage and has approved blessings for that type of marriage. Damn. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's just cringe, bro. The stuff this dude was into, calling himself a prophet of God. This is Proverbs 10:7. It says, the memory of the just is blessed. All right. But the name of the wicked shall rot. That's right, man. It's gonna rot. It's gonna rot away. But the name of the righteous is gonna be carried into the kingdom. But these people's names gonna be rotted out, man, real soon. All right, real soon. Just give it time. Time tells the story, and their story is to phase out as we get phased in. All right. None of this folly is gonna be around anymore. Clowns. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go through a couple more of these. Let me see. Let's go through. Yeah, 'cause I got that already. I'm gonna go through First Peter's 1:24. All right, let's go here real quick. This is First Peter's 1:24. It says here, "For all flesh is as the grass." See, they thought he was gonna live forever and shit. And all the glory of man as the flower of the grass. So, you know, so when people get on this earth and they live rich and wealthy, especially as a king, they say king live forever. No, their name gonna rot out, just like the body. All right. So their new world order, everything that they're fighting for is gonna rot away. For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass, man. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away. But the word of Yahweh endureth forever. And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you. By the gospel, not by these devils, doctrines of devils, of the Pope and them. All right. So yeah, man. Just gotta know that they're not above judgment. And they say trouble don't last always. Yeah, they're not gonna last forever, as we see. You know. Let me get this. Hold on. Here you go. This is a cut. 2 John 1:10. Go to 10. All right, about him blessing that the letter movement. You know. Um, if there 2 John 1:10, if there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, and the doctrine he was bringing was not the truth of the scriptures. Receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds. And that's a cut on the Pope for saying he blessing those effeminates. He'll go around blessing them and shit, putting little pink fingerprints on their forehead or some shit. But so he's bidding them Godspeed. So he's partaker of their evil deeds. Right? You have people out there crying to see the Pope. It's crazy, man. So he's partaker of their evil deeds. You know, um, he was not a partaker of righteousness. We got Ephesians 5:11. Let's go to Ephesians 5:11. And this is what we're supposed to do as true prophets, as men of the Lord that teach the truth. Here you go, 9. For the fruit of the spirit, the true spirit, not the spirit of devils, is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, man. That's it right there. That's the embodiment of a true prophet, of a vessel of Yahweh that embodies wisdom and spirit of life and spirit of truth, not the spirit of death and lies. All right. Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. And they're not proving what's acceptable to the Lord. They're proving that they chose to do the things wherein the Lord delighted not. Kissing the damn, look at this shit. Let's go back to it. There you go. Is this proving what is acceptable unto the Lord? All these Catholics that love this guy. Is this proving was acceptable unto Yahweh? Imagine Moses was doing that shit. Is this proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh when we know it's a lie? Even AI know that shit. What about this one? Is this in all truth and righteousness right here? No. Even this title, Christmas, the mass of the gathering of the anointed's birth, when the Lord, the Messiah was born in springtime and he was a little Negro baby. What about this? The Dagon hat. Look at that witchcraft staff. Look at that shit. The upside down cross, Edomite Cesare Borgia on there. Madness, bro. Dagon hat. Masonic priest, Baal, the priest of Baal clothing going back to Babylon. All right, so respect for this man, I have none. It says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord and have no fellowship. So you can't be calling yourself a Catholic or a Christian or um, saying you approve inclusiveness as he did, you know, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. And he wasn't doing that. He wasn't rebuking the LG whatever movement, you know what I'm saying? Letter movement. He wasn't rebuking them. Instead, he brought them to be included. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. Wow. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doeth maketh manifest is light. And this dude, let me get that real quick. All right. It says whatever maketh manifest is light. So this dude spoke contrary to the truth. So this is it. Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. There was no light inside this Pope. His light was darkness. He was a representation of it. No truth in him. Look at him. Madness, man. And you look at them old movies of them Vikings and shit and Catholics. They got ancient popes and ancient priests. And they'll take their foot, old ass black moldy foot, and they'll put that shit to your face and have you kiss it. Look at this dude, man. So they're gonna keep his finger. They're gonna keep all this shit for well, they about to be destroyed, but they keep their bodies, man, and they be opening the shit up. You know what I'm saying? And all this weird shit to it, man. You know, later on in life. So yeah, man. They say even the wicked are at rest when they transition. They in the heavens on the left hand side waiting for their judgment, and he's coming back in hardcore bondage on this earth that he can't even imagine. All right, so I'm gonna end this one, man. Got me a little frustrated, but a lot of cringe moments on this shit. All right, with that, man, I'm gonna end it. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were edified, and thanks for watching. And with that, I'm out. Say shalom.